The Board of Estimates now called to order. In the interest of promoting the order and efficiencies of these hearings, persons who are disruptive to the hearing will be asked to leave the hearing room immediately. Meetings of the Board of Estimates are open to the public for the duration of the meeting. The hearing room must be vacated at the conclusion of the meeting. Failure to comply may result in the charge of trespassing. Madam Deputy Controller, are there any corrections, additions, or deferrals on the agenda?
Yes, good morning. For today's Board of Estimates meeting, the board received protests from Ms. Trueheart for pages 89 to 94, as well as for pages 1 to 126, all items on the agenda. The board did review Ms. Trueheart's protests, however, her protests will not be heard. We have one item that is moving to the non-routine agenda, and that's page 119, which is the report on compliance on contract B50004056, Enterprise Technology Staffing Support. I have the following. I'm sorry. I have the following abstentions to note. The Honorable Mayor Pugh abstained on pages 121, item number 4, and page 122, item number 5. The Honorable President Young, will abstain on page 5, item number 4, pages 36 to 37. Page 61 to 62, item number 2, and page 114, item number 15. The Honorable Comptroller Pratt will abstain on page 22, item 4, and page 45. Mr. President, members of the board, those are the protests received, the one item that's being moved to the non-routine agenda, as well as the abstentions that have been reported. Thank you.
Thank you. I will direct the board members' attention to the memorandum from my office dated February 27th, 2017, identify matters to be considered as routine agenda items together with any correction and addition that have been noted by the Deputy Controller. I will entertain a motion to approve all of the items contained on the routine agenda.
I move the approval of the items on the routine agenda.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. The motion carried. The routine agenda has been adopted. Before we go any further, I'd like to recognize Councilwoman Mary Pat Clark, who have joined us. The first item on the non-routine agenda can be found on page 119. Contract number B50004056, Enterprise Technology Staffing Support for the Vending Technology System, Inc.
Good morning, Madam Mayor, honorable members of the board. Aaron Chair Smith for the Department of Finance, Bureau of Purchases. On February 8th of this year, we requested an increase of funding on contract B50004056, Enterprise Technology Staffing Support. This contract with restaffing vendors provides key technology personnel to all agencies, and the increase was necessary to have sufficient funding for the personnel for the remainder of the contract term through September 8th, 2017. MBU found 2 of the 3 vendors, Telecommunication Systems and Trigen Technology, non-compliant with MWBE commitments. The 3rd vendor had not yet provided any staff to the city, so no compliance review was necessary. The board approved the request for the increase, but requested that we submit for today's agenda a report back on the vendor's efforts to submit acceptable plans to come into compliance with the MWBE goals. And MBU has informed the Bureau of Purchases by a copy of the letters that the plan submitted by both vendors has been deemed acceptable, and MBU will report on the details of these plans.
When you say acceptable, have they met their WBE requirement?
They have not yet met these, but the plans was deemed acceptable as a way to come into compliance. We will monitor the actual performance going forward.
Any other questions? Are you going to present? Okay, who presenting the plan? Okay, because I'm going to be a no vote on that.
Understood. Good morning, Madam Mayor, the Honorable Board. We received corrective action plans from the 2 vendors we found non-compliant. Their plan was to add an additional MB subcontractor, an additional WBE subcontractor. At this time, we find that plan acceptable, but obviously this is going to have to be monitored on what we've decided is every 30 days to see the impact of these plans, and we have to decide whether or not they will assist in having them achieve the goals.
Madam Mayor.
Yeah, can you tell us what the total contract is and what you consider to be an acceptable plan?
I'm sorry, the total contract?
Yes, and what an acceptable plan is.
Well, we don't know, obviously, we don't know what the result of this plan is going to be. They have added, both vendors have added an MBE and WB sub to increase participation. Hopefully that will increase participation. One of the issues with this particular contract is the prime contractor and the subcontractor are both performing the exact same services. It's staff augmentation. So they are essentially competing against each other. So what I've at least suggested to Bureau of Purchases, not only we're going to have to monitor this, but we may have to consider the selection process. We may have to consider, are there other things that we can do to assist the primes in meeting the goals, because the city actually selects the individuals for performance. So the prime contractor doesn't have control over whether or not the MBE submitted employees are accepted or their employees are accepted. So we may have to, from an agency standpoint, administrative standpoint, look at the process and determine whether or not that is going to limit the prime from meeting the goals. So this is going to be an ongoing monitoring process.
It's a personnel thing. Thanks.
So the prime selected the sub, right? And so they knew what services they could offer.
Correct.
So I have a problem with them not meeting their goals also.
Well, again, they selected the subs, but again, they're both performing the same services. They're both supplying
Right.
individuals for selection, and the prime doesn't select who the individuals are. The city agencies determine, based on the resumes, what's the fit and who they are. So the prime is limited in terms of their impact on participation. So that's why I said we may have to revisit the issue from an agency standpoint,
Right.
to assist them in meeting their goals.
Well, what agencies are we talking about?
This contract is utilized by all city agencies.
Okay. All right. Well, we already took a vote on this, right? We did? All right. I entertain a motion.
It's
No,
just to
this-
be-
Oh, the report has been noted. Okay, the report has been noted, but I want the deputy controller to change my vote, because I don't know if I voted yes or not, to a no vote.
So how often are you going to monitor this?
I expect a report every 30 days.
Every 30 days? Okay.
Mr.
So could you
President?
report back to us, within 60 days,
Absolutely.
their utilization of it? Okay,
Just for the record, I don't think you identified yourself on the record.
that's true.
I'm sorry. Courtney Billups, Chief of the Minority and Women's Business Opportunity Office.
Madam Controller, Deputy Controller, you were saying something
Yes,
to me?
good morning, Mr. President. I was going to state that previously, the board approved that subject to them coming to compliance within 10 days, and this is the report. So I guess determination is whether or not you are accepting that report from the be in compliance.
Well, so that means we have to take a vote then.
If you determine whether they're in compliance.
And they're not in compliance.
Mr. Ralph, you
Mr. Ralph?
So, yeah, I mean, if there's a motion, it's going to be whether to accept the plan or not.
Okay, well, I entertain a motion whether we're going to accept the plan presented by Ms. Scher.
Sure. I move that we accept that the board accept the plan as recommended by the Bureau of Purchases and the Minority and Women Business Office.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. Please note Council President Young is a no.
And the comptroller votes no.
There have been no more business before this board. The meeting will recess until bid opening at noon. Thank you.
SWC 16310R. Northwest Transfer Station Building renovation and site improvements. A bid bond is required if the amount is over $100,000. W.M. Slosher Company, Inc., with a bid bond. $3,488,000. My pages are blank. Yep, that's it. Great, thanks. Thank you. Okay. Nichols Contracting, Inc., with a bid bond. $3,492,113. Thank you. Let's just take a look at it by the law. Because it clearly says on the book is attached, and we don't have, we don't know the original is. Yeah, right, and that's supposed to be the same thing. And again, I always go by this. Complete. And we don't, this is for the complete duplicate because you don't have devices, which is one of the most important things, so. I make a motion to refer the bid of Kimball Construction Company, Inc. to the Law Department for review.
I second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The matter having been moved and second is referred to the Law Department for review. Refer these bids to the Department of Public Works for tabulation and report.
Thank you. B50004841. Mowing of grass in medians. A bid bond is not required. Thank you. Lorenz Inc. with a bid bond. Oh, wait, maybe it's in the rear somewhere. You just never know. Let me show you how to action. If you see these charts here, it's right before that. It might be that it has out of alignment pages like this. Yeah, okay. Just read it. It's only one day. Yeah, it's probably stuck somewhere behind. We can share this. We'll check. We'll send it over. Lorenz Inc., $7,608,960.
Refer this bid to the Bureau of Purchases for tabulation and report. Thanks.
Here's the next one. Thank you so much. Okay, this is the B50004854, copper cable installation, maintenance and repair services. A bid bond is not required. Okay, thank you. Might be in the bag. Part of an addendum. Here it is, thank you. Femdel, FEMDEL, LLC, $904,885.30. I'll give it to him. Thank you.
That goes with.
It's already gone. That one did, the one we did the last one. I'll take care of it. I'm sorry, I moved it there. I'll take care of it. Thank you.
I have.
Thanks. Ice Tech, $1,314,600. Skyline Network Engineering, LLC, doing business as Skyline Technology Solutions. $1,204,350. Blue Star Technologies, Inc. $1,049,610. Softcon Enterprises, Inc. $1,173,471.90. Highlander Contracting Company, LLC, $1,007,250. If not the actual page. Yeah, it's just different from, 552, all right. Technical specialties. They have the general affidavit too, that's where they sign off also. Yeah. That's kind of strange in terms of. I lost my pricing page again. I saw it before. Whether they're using it. I was trying to. Okay, back here. Thank you. Good. Okay. Technical Specialties, Inc. Okay. That's about it. Yeah. Just items. That price looks wrong, but I'll read it. Because here is 247, maybe so. Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. $798,420. SCD Information Technology LLC. $860,416.10.
Refer these bids to the Bureau of Purchases for tabulation and report.
There being no further business, we are adjourned.